Thank you very much, and let me welcome all of you for coming to this session so early in the morning. This is one of the first events we are having on a campaign we are launching, and I'm really very pleased that EURO RSCG has also agreed to partner with us and has been working very, very closely with us, and we thank you very much. As you all know, the issue of climate change is a very important matter for all of us. For a long time, many people have been thinking that climate change is something waiting to happen, ignoring the fact that indeed it is already taking place and having impact on our lives, having impact on lives of people in weaker communities in particular. When you look at the statistics, the 50 least developed countries are responsible for less than 1% of the pollution, and yet they bear the brunt. You go to their communities and lands that were fertile are now fallow. Desert is expanding at the rate of 7 kilometers a year. Small island states are worried about whether they would have a home. In fact, the new president of Maldives came up with an incredible idea that he's looking for a country to buy. He's looking for a country to buy because theirs will be washed away with global warming and sea level rising. But that is a phenomena that we face. And it's not just an issue of poorer countries. It can affect even those living in very wealthy countries. I see there are one or two friends here from New York. One is looking at cities. Studies are being done looking at cities, including New York, as to what would happen if, God forbid, a hurricane 4 or 5 were to hit. The initial reaction is to tell everybody, get out of the city. In New York, you can't, because you get out of the city through tunnels and bridges. They will all be clocked within 20 minutes. Where do the millions go? So you have to come up with a strategy to look after them in situ, in place. So one needs to plan ahead and do all sorts of things to be able to protect populations. We've seen how the intensity of disasters, from the hurricanes in Latin America to the Caribbean to the US, and this is going to continue. And yet, if we do not take steps to bring the environment under control, we are going to destroy this planet. This year, all roads lead to Copenhagen, where we have to do a post-Kyoto agreement. We need a robust, effective, viable agreement in Copenhagen. It's a chance we cannot miss. And we all need to put pressure on our leaders, reminding them this is extremely important for us. My generation probably has let yours down. I see lots of young people here. You know, there is an African phrase which says, the earth is not for us. It's a treasure we hold in trust for future generations and their children. I'm not sure my generation has been worthy of that trust, but for the little time that we have, we should do whatever we can to hand over a better planet. And as we move to Copenhagen, I think we should rise up as one people and send a message that it can be done, we want it done, and we mean business. The only way our political leaders will stand up and take the right decision if they know that the population are interested and want it done. We also believe that justice, fairness, and equity must underline any agreement that is signed in Copenhagen. We cannot allow situations where some take responsibility for the earth, moderate their behavior, and others consume as if there is no tomorrow and are recklessly destroying our environment. So we have to get around the message that pollution has a cost. Pollution has a cost, and the polluter must pay. And make sure that we put a charge on that. And the revenue collected can also be used to help the poorer countries adapt and strengthen their resilience, reduce their vulnerability, and work with them on risk reduction. We also need to encourage investments in research and push for green technologies, and I hope some of that would also be shared with the poorer countries. But the question of justice is not just between countries, it's even within countries. Take Switzerland. Those who walk, bicycle, take the tram should not subsidize those who insist on driving SUVs. The system must be fair and let these SUV types pay for their luxuries and protect our earth. So we will go in June this year, we will launch, and I think we are launching it here now. I think I will leave it to the experts. That's why we are launching the Alliance for Climate Justice. And I think if we all stand up for climate justice and push it to its logical point, we will have an impact in Copenhagen. Because any agreement that is based on fairness and equity is much more likely to be accepted than one that is seen as unfair and leads to people pointing fingers. I will move if you do this, or if you do that, I will consider doing this. We don't want that. The issue is too important for us to get to Copenhagen with that sort of attitude. So welcome. I will step out of the way and the experts would explain to you how we are going to make this campaign work. Thank you for coming.